A great road trip. Team playing pretty well.
Yeah, it was. Actually, it was fun. Our guys really played well. We battled. Whenever adversity came, we stepped up and got a good stop and made baskets. And it was fun to watch us kind of mature in those two games. Tommy Parks played really good against UIC, and we were pretty tough in terms of mentally tough in those two games.
Can you sense that the team feels they're on a roll now?
Geez, Dan. I hope that they know. I mean, they won 2 ball games, and they swept Chicago. They've never done that before. We played 2 really tough teams on their floor, hard. You know what I mean? So our confidence obviously is better. I think we're playing smarter. I think we've kind of settled on a rotation for the first time of the year in terms of our playing times and minutes. We talked about that last time. I think that's been a positive for us. But nothing, you can't shortchange the value of making shots. And we came out in the second half against Loyola and knocked down some shots, and our defense got better. We came out against UIC and knocked down some shots, and when the game got close, we knocked in a couple of very important shots, and then all of a sudden that led to about 2 or 3 unbelievable defensive possessions. I mean, we just scrambled and rotated and helped each other, and those were 2 good wins for our kids.
Coach, looking at the standings in 6th place now, but everybody's kind of lumped right together. Do you talk to them about that, or do they talk about it, or you just kind of take it one game at a time?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before we went to Chicago that everybody that we were playing now was in front of us, and how important those games were. But we haven't said anything this week about it. We know we've got 2 great opponents. I think these are 2 of the best teams in our league. I think there are 3 teams in our league that have separated themselves from the field. I think there are 2 that have clearly done it in Butler and Green Bay. I think Green Bay is the best offensive team in the league. I think Butler's the best, defensive possession team in the league. And I really think that series will come down to who ends up plays at home. So, I mean, we have a lot of respect for these 2 teams. We know what they did to us on their floors. We've got to really play. We really have to play well to have a shot.
How much has it helped to have the play of Tom Parks?
Oh, Pete, it's really been the difference maker for us. I mean, we get in that game against UIC, they make a run at us. Tommy had 2 open ones, knocked down 2. Instead of all of a sudden I think it was about right around in 30-second time frame, a tie ball game went to up 6. And then all of a sudden you get another stop, and now it's like 2:25 left, and now you're out spreading the floor. And now they're chasing. And all of a sudden now, the whole game changes at that point. You're up 6, they're chasing, you're not hurrying. We didn't care where the shot clock was. We were going to spread the floor, and then all of a sudden somebody, ends up fouling with 5 seconds left on the clock. Did we make both of them, which would make my life easier? No. But we made one of them. So now all of a sudden you're up 7. And, I mean, they were big. And it's, he's played well, and it's helped us.
You mentioned Green Bay, the best offensive team in the league. I think you said what makes them so good?
They got 5 guys. They got 5 guys that can score the ball. I mean, they're the only team in the league. I think that's a fair statement. I believe that they're the only team in the league that can put 5 guys on the floor that can get double figures almost anytime that they want to. So Fletcher, Cotton, Shocknum, and Tillman's had an unbelievable year. He's one of the top scorers in the league coming off the bench, playing 26 minutes. So they can. They're long and wide, and they're kind of the guys that have been together. You got Evans. That's those those four guys last four guys I mentioned, they're all seniors. They've been together for 4 years, and they know what it's on. They know what it's like to be on the bottom side of it. And those kids have played like this is their last shot.
I know it's a different season, but last year you beat them here at home. I mean, do you even think about that? I mean,
No, but they do. We don't, but they do. I mean, you know he's holding that over their heads for motivation for this game. You know, I mean, we have obviously a whole different group, and I'm not even sure we've even, I know we haven't brought that up, you know, but I'm sure that he is.
Coach, there've only been 2 teams since the first of the year that have held them in the 60s or less. Is there a way to do that? I mean, what approach do you take to what they do offensively?
Well, you know, Jim, you have to score points against them to win. I mean, you know, you're not holding those guys to, I mean, you might be lucky and hold them to 65 or 70 or whatever. That would be a rare night for them. And the reason for that's not only that they shoot the ball, you know, pretty good, but they're really, really good at the foul line. So, I mean, if they're going to get, you know, they're going to get 20 attempts at the line, you know, they're a team that's going to make 17. And so, you know, we've spent a lot of time this week on them defensively to try to slow them down, but I'd be less than honest to sit here or stand here and say to you that if we don't score the ball, we will not have a chance to win that game. We have got to get. Now again, we came out of Chicago, shot 45 or 46 one night and 45 the next, and it's the same deal. I mean, if we can be in that 40, you know, because we usually get good shots, we don't always make them. So if we can be in that 44 to 46% from the field goal percentage area, and our turnovers around 10, 11, 12, we'll be competitive in these games. If that does not happen, we won't be.
Does having that rotation now help that cause?
I think it helps the kids. I think it helps the kids. I think we've kind of settled on as a staff. You know, this is the guy that goes in here, this is the guy that goes in there, and you know, after the last homestand, we spent a lot of time as a staff kind of breaking that down and saying, listen, you know, maybe they're confused, we're confused, maybe they're confused. Let's take the confusion out of it and, you know, be predictable. And I think they've taken to it.
Jerry, generally speaking, how much do teams change from the first game to the second time you play?
You know, Dana, that's a good question because I think, you know, they put in a couple of wrinkles. I think everybody in the league puts in, you know, 1 or 2 different wrinkles every Monday with one new inbounds play. You know, I think everybody across the league does it. You'll be sitting there, you know, you do your scouting report stuff, and you know because you've played them the first time, and all of a sudden that happens, and you know, we did a little something against. You know, Loyola, and one of the kids running down the bench, you know, was running a timeout. You know, we didn't see that. You know, well, that was one of our things. So I think everybody in the league on Monday will put in something a little bit different. You know, a little, you know, it can be a back cut on a set play or just a little wrinkle on an inbounds play because everybody's just so well prepared.
How have they gotten better since you played them back in January?
Well, when we played them, they were really, really good. So I mean, they put a beat on us. So you know, they're a good basketball team, and like I said, you know, when you've got guys like Tillman, and Shockner, and Evans, and Barry, you know, there's 4 seniors that have been in this league for 4 years and in these battles. And when that group needs one, you know, those guys do all the little things that you have to do to find it.
Coach, are you happy now, based on the other rotation now, the team's playing good basketball, are you happy kind of where they are?
You know, I mean, I'm thrilled, Chad, really. Anytime you count them out of Chicago, you know, where you've won 2 games, I mean, that's as good as a lift that you know, we've had around here in a long, long time. And to do it on the road, you know, UIC had a huge crowd. You know, we'd never beaten them at their place, so you know, I'm not satisfied, but I like where we're going, and know that you're only as good as your next one, though. And we've got 2 tough ones coming in this week with Milwaukee and Green Bay.
Jerry, how tough of a swing is this? I mean, I know when you went out there, it's the toughest swing you take all season, but you have it here back to back pretty much.
Yeah.
Is it pretty much?
I mean, like I said, you feel good about yourself, and while you're playing well and making shots, and we just got to keep on battling to keep on growing and getting better.